Rumors are that allegedly Dr. Wendy Osefo is about to get her walking papers at Real Housewives of Potomac. How true is this rumor? I have some new information that may answer that question and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. If you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified, so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. All right, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around rumors that allegedly Dr. Wendy Osefo is about to be let go at Real Housewives of Potomac. How true is this rumor? I have some new information that may answer that question and more, and here it goes. Rumors are circulating that Dr. Wendy may be next to be fired at Real Housewives of Potomac. The source said we can expect a possible announcement after the reunion that Wendy will not be returning to the franchise next season. The source said the decision to let Wendy go may be based on the fact that Gizelle has successfully iced Wendy out from the rest of the group. With Candiace gone, producers feel that there is no reason to torture Wendy with an unproductive season of trying to make amends with Gizelle and the rest of the ladies. The source continued, Dr. Wendy absolutely loves being a housewife. However, most of her cast don't see it that way. They are very threatened by Wendy, and production knows this. So, rather than make the other ladies rise to the occasion and play nice, it seems production is going to remove their threat and do their dirty work for them and give Wendy her walking papers. All sources do agree that Wendy potentially leaving Real Housewives of Potomac is a good thing for her and her brand. Wendy has surpassed all the other ladies, said the source, when it comes to accomplishments, and she has the most to lose. So being fired or leaving on her own accord is only a step up for her and her brand's future. Now, kinfolk, this is a rumor that came across my desk today that it seems that behind the scenes, Wendy is about to be allegedly let go at Real Housewives of Potomac. And kinfolk, as a huge Dr. Wendy fan, I can say that this part about this rumor, I can actually believe, and it's this. As a huge Dr. Wendy Osefo fan, honestly, I can see this rumor having some legs and being true. And it goes back to what the sources are saying that producers are allegedly saying behind the scenes. It is just no reason to torture Wendy next season or with trying to make amends with Gizelle and the rest of the ladies when it's clear that they do not want Wendy on the show or in this friend group. And with Candiace leaving, Wendy really has no one else to fall back on. And I think production sees how the optics of this may be bad. Having Wendy go up against the rest of the cast and being bombarded with attacks and assaults all season long and not having anyone to defend her. So with that being said, I do feel like production thinks that letting Wendy go or putting her on pause will help save them face and help them beat some of those colorist allegations. However, having Dr. Wendy leave or putting her on pause or having her say that she's leaving her own accord will do nothing to quiet those rumors that fans or the majority of fans feel that production and the rest of the ladies are colorists, allegedly. Now, kinfolk, the other part of this rumor that seems very factual, and it really does give this rumor some legs, is this. It is no secret that Wendy has successfully been iced out from the rest of the group by Gizelle. Her only big cheerleader was Candiace, and we all know that Karen is on the fence, so she's not neither Wendy's friend or Wendy's enemy. And so when Gizelle successfully iced Wendy out of the group, it seems as if Wendy had nowhere else to turn. Now, Wendy could possibly play the card of, let me play nice with Gizelle, or let me join forces with Mia. However, without her knowing if Gizelle is going to make an enemy out of Mia or Nneka, it's kind of hard for Wendy to make a move. And let's say that Gizelle decides to make an enemy out of Nneka. Nneka and Wendy's relationship is non-existent. And it seems as if that relationship, if they did team up to go up against Gizelle, would not work, because we know that Nneka wants to be liked and loved and protected by Gizelle. And her teaming up forces with Wendy would not accomplish that. So Wendy really does not have too many places to turn to. And I think when you bring Kiki back, or Kiana back, that's a big possibility. But however, if you do bring her back, it seems that Kiki is more intent on being like a neutral party in all of these things, even though there were moments where she did speak up for Wendy and for Candace. And let's say they do bring Kiana back as a full-time housewife. I don't think that it's safe to say that she's going to automatically be Team Wendy right off the bat. I do feel like all newbies have this innate thing that they want to be liked or loved or accepted by Gizelle, and they start to do things to kiss up to Gizelle. Why? I have no idea, other than they think that Gizelle is the person who calls the shots behind the scenes. So with Kiana on the show or off the show, it still feels like Wendy is somewhat iced out from the majority of the rest of the ladies, and that really does give this rumor a lot of legs. Now, kinfolk, the next part of this rumor that I think that makes Wendy coming back next season almost next to impossible is this. It is just evident that all of the ladies are afraid of Gizelle, with the exception of Karen. Now, what this means is there's no one for Wendy to really reach out to for help or for friendship. No one. And we would think that production would step in and say, Gizelle, you have to make nice for Wendy. That just doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. It seems as if production is not willing to make Gizelle be a team player. And so without Gizelle feeling accepting Wendy into the fold, all the other ladies are not going to do it as well. And we know that Ashley is somewhat of a production plant, so there's not going to be a real push for Ashley to be friends with Wendy unless production tell her, hey, you have to be friends with Wendy. That's kind of like her only out as well. Because if production tells Ashley that she has to be friends with Wendy and she has to be a defender of Wendy, then we can see Ashley do that, because she has proven herself to be an alleged production plant, and she's going to do whatever production tells her to do. Now, that may be a possible end for Wendy, but who knows, because Ashley is just not dependable. And if you are to believe rumors that she is on the chopping block as well, then that really leaves Wendy on an island unto herself. Now, kinfolk, the last part of this rumor, I think is pretty evident if you have been following the last couple seasons that Wendy has been on. And I've said this a couple of times, on camera and off camera to friends. And I think that when you look at it this way, it really does make sense that Wendy may not be returning. And it's this reason. Kinfolk, I am of the personal belief that Wendy really has outgrown this show. In just 3 seasons, Wendy has surpassed all the other ladies when it comes to notoriety and accomplishments. I mean, she has launched 3 successful businesses, one being with her husband with his line, Happy Eddie. And it seems as if she is just hot right now when it comes to commentating and when it comes to be a personal persona where people are asking her to come speak at different panels. And if you are in politics, you know that there is a lot of money in speaking engagements, especially for someone like Wendy, who has a fresh perspective and can bring in a lot of young listeners and a lot of young individuals into her orbit, which would make her the ideal person to have on your campaign or have them associated with your campaign when it comes to the election, especially on a nationwide especially for a nationwide election, such as the presidential election that's coming up. So I do think that Wendy really has outgrown this show. Wendy's resume is impeccable and is impressive. I mean, she goes from having lunch with her friends on Monday to having dinner with the vice president on Tuesday, and to then having lunch or being at an event with the first lady of, I think it's Maryland. And so, I mean, Wendy is the type of person who, in all honesty, just does not fit this type of environment when it comes to Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, yes, if it wasn't so dark and if Giselle did not cast such a dark feel around the show, then it might be a perfect place for Wendy just to collect a good check and go about her day. But the way they antagonize Wendy, the way they ice her out, and the way they disrespect her on a daily basis, it is not a good environment for Wendy to be potentially placed in a situation where she just loses her cool and really sullies her brand. I mean, she is a powerhouse when it comes to commentating and in the political world. And I really do think that is going to be her bread and her butter and her future after Potomac. So if she does leave on her own accord or is even fired or asks not to return, I think it's only going to be a win-win for Wendy. And let's not even forget that her YouTube channel is amazing, and also it is garnering a lot of support and a lot of views on a weekly basis. So much like Candace, Wendy has a lot of other avenues that she can drive down after Potomac, which makes her very attractive to a lot of people and which makes her departure not so difficult to swallow. Now, kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. If you are to believe this rumor, because right now it's just speculation and alleged information, do you think production is about to get rid of Wendy? And if you think she's about to be let go at Potomac, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing for her and the franchise? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over the next one. Peace.